So do you have trouble with blending pigments? Do you think that it's messy? If so, today I'm gonna change your life. This is a lesson on one of the most popular product, Pigment Base. So today I am going to talk to you about Pigment Base, but first let me show you some horror story first so you can truly appreciate what I'm making here. So people biggest challenge when they apply pigment is muddy pigment. Okay, muddy pigment is like what you can see here. Let me zoom in so you can see. Do you see that? It's like draggy and cakey. And it's because of the way the gel polish dry. When a gel polish inhibition layer is not appropriate for pigment, this is what you will get. The process will become hard and messy. And people think just because a gel polish is able to stick to pigment, that doesn't mean that it's gonna be nice. And we need it to be nice and smooth. And the reason why the pigment is cakey and muddy is because the pigment is lumping up. You know, when the foundation is wet, all the powder is not scattered out evenly. It's lumped up together in a wet foundation. I want you to imagine if every day you put on foundation in your face, right? Because you do makeup. So you put on this powder foundation in your face, but your face have to be prepped, right? It gotta be, your skin gonna stick to makeup no matter what. But your face gotta be semi-dry-ish. Because imagine you rub lotion all over your face and make it greasy, okay? And then you put on the powder foundation. Do you really think that it's gonna go on evenly? No. If your face is wet and greasy, then your foundation gonna cake up and you're gonna end up with horrible makeup. So, same thing on nail. Okay, the nail gotta be appropriate for pigment so it's go on nicely. Because wet pigment is like a face full of lotion. Your powder will stick on, it's not gonna stick on nice. Now, you might think about no wipe. You might be so afraid of inhibition layer that you decide, you know what, I'm just gonna use no wipe. And you know what? It might stick on, it might not, but whatever the result that you are seeing, even if the powder is stick on, because some situation is like this. They were like, oh yes, this is a sign of success. Something stick on, right? But remember that you gotta dust it to top coat it. Okay. When you dust, some of it will go away. Some of it, if it luckily is hold on there for whatever magical force it have, when you put top coat on, it's gonna be sticky, it's gonna wash it all off. It's gonna be a nightmare for you. Because no wipe, there's nothing for it to stick on. And even if it stick on by accident. Must be because that spot wasn't clear enough or something. So, too wet up in inhibition layer. Too wet up in the inhibition layers. Too dry up anything, it doesn't have inhibition layers. So that is a no-no. So, this is why this gel was created. And until this day, I'm telling you, this remains one of the best seller. It's not just for full cover now. The consistency of this gel is perfect for color blocking, for drawing. I'll show you at the end. But first, let me apply it on. Now, it is loved by everyone, not just because the fact that it's work well with pigment. It's loved by everyone because it's a one coat application that you see right here in front of your eyes. Look at that. Zoom in. All streak disappear. It's cell level. It's fabulous. And that consistency is what allow you to draw. But the fact that it's clear solid, it clear well, because it's high pigment, so some gel are very dangerous when it's high pigment because it don't clear well. This clears so well. And it's the worst thing that anyone could ever do is have to have two coat of the foundation. It's a foundation. It needs to be just one coat ever. Oh, and I forgot one thing. Some people try to undercure the gel or overcure it just because they just have no way of achieving perfect pigment. So they try a little trick that other people will recommend for them on social media. But you see, not only it's not working for them, but you know better than to undercure a gel polish because it's gonna chip on your client. And overcure definitely doesn't change inhibition layer because inhibition layer is no longer gel. It's what left over on the surface. So it doesn't matter how much you cure it, it's still gonna be there. I need to slow down. I'm talking too fast. I'm excited. I apologize. I'm taking out some pigment I'm about to show you. Now, I know Pigment Base is amazing, but I still recommend to get my pigments. My pigment are very high quality, but I'm sure you can use other pigment too. No discrimination on pigment. And I also have a pigment brush. Again, you probably can get by with other brush, but remember, I'm a pigment artist. So I use what works best for me. I recommend you to get the brush. Pigment, you can use Chinese pigment, but I don't like Chinese pigment. I like Indian pigment because it's more vivid. In China, they cut way too much. And then I never used Russian pigment before, but I'm happy with my Indian pigment because they are known for their pigment and all the dye and all that. So I love these pigments. You want a paper towels. I call it a cleaning paper towels. You want to clean everything out. Okay, I'm going to show you how to apply. Okay, let me show you what people do wrong first. I have this nail right here, but I'm not going to go on it. People like to dip it in and then they apply on the nail immediately and poof, disaster. Okay, don't do that. You need a paper towel. Now when you dip it in, all the dust is loose on the brush. That's dangerous. You lock it in. You smudge it on the paper towel because the paper towel don't have pigment. When you dip this in, it's full of pigment. Okay, when you go on a paper towel, it's hold the pigment for you and you lock it in. So now your brush bristle are full of blue pigment and it's kind of locked in already. So you take something like this, knock off excess dust. Or you can just do it against the edge of your table. I used to do it, but it gets messy for me. So I'm knocking off excess dust. Now it's no longer there. People usually afraid that they will lose all the pigment if they knock it off, but that's why you lock it in the first place, okay? And do you see these? What it's shooting out like that? If you don't knock off excess dust, that's gonna be all over your nails. Very messy. Now, first move is to take a nails and it's already cured for 60 seconds. And you going in circular motion. Now, circular motion, it is help you blend pigments in, help you rub pigment in, but stay in one place. Like if I'm here and I want to feel pigment, I only stay here. Want to put some pigment right here, I only stay here. See, I don't kick it because when people start to kick it, it start to get all over. Okay, so circular motion first. I'm doing this for beginners. When you are strong in your pigment game, you do whatever you like. But beginner, please follow rules. So, I already have a nice layer of blue that I like. Now, I'm ready to blend. So me, I'm feathering it out like this. Remember, I'm not saying kick it out. I'm saying feather it out just to emphasize how light you need to be, okay? If you need more, you take more. Okay, I'm light-handed, so I have no problem with this. Let me feather it out just all the way across here. Just be lightly. So up here is solid color. The part that you blend out, that is half and half. So the next color pigment is gonna stick right on there. So that's how you do it. It's starting out circular motion to control your direction. And then when you're ready, then you can blend it out. Now, if you are heavy-handed, okay, there is a solution for you before you even start blending it. If you're really heavy-handed, you go down here and you start to feather it down here. Let me pick up a lot of pigment first. Okay, if you're heavy-handed, don't just go on, but go on here, start to feather it, and when it seems to be light enough, safe enough for you, that is when you go on the nails. So you don't have problem. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm gonna take another colors. Again, taking a dry rag like this. Okay, brush it on just to drain off all the colors. If the color is really strong, you can use acetone to blend it and to cleanse it, and then you have to wait for it to dry about a minute. It's better if you have two pigment brush for that. But I'm just dry cleaning it. Just like that. And I'm picking on another colors, green. Because blue and green are cohesive. Okay, now, again, knock it off. If your pigment is messy, and then you taking the green on, it will be messy. It's not gonna be 100%. So, you go in circular motion like this. Okay. And then, knock up dust. Get ready to blend. And if once in a while, you don't have to be heavy-handed. Once in a while, when I'm lazy to focus, I still go on here and just dust like this. It's just easy for me. It's guaranteed that my pigment gonna be beautiful, just like that. And you see a lot of application online, I have no doubt. You see people taking the pigment and they doing this. They just tap, 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 tap like that. And then they take another color and they just tap, 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 tap like that. There's many other way. But I love my way because the blend is speak for itself. Look at the beauty of it. See that? So I don't know which way you are studying, but if it doesn't work for you, then time to try the Tina way. Clean this. We go in for the clean. Also very important, you guys, because at first I'm not focused on my cleaning that much. And imagine taking green and go into pink. If you don't clean it that much, it will mix with the pink. It will make like this weird brownish pink colors. Sad mauve pink. Not good. So cleaning is also important. Every step is important. Okay. Just lightly. Okay, now you might question, well, Tina, why do you do pink now? I thought it's green and then yellow and then pink. Why pink? So the reason is, do you see how I tell you to blend beautifully before you switch to another color? It gotta be perfect, right? So if you use yellow, this is a problem that I encounter and I'll share with you. Yellow are bright. And sometimes it looks beautiful and perfect until you put on another color. And that is when you find out that it's not that perfect. So yellow is blinding. And I'm saving my yellow friend for last. Because it's blinding. Cleanse it. Yellow is a pure color. Cleanse it well. It's not gonna ruin your brush if you just brush it in one direction. You don't go like this. You don't go like that. Don't do that. Just like that. Then you're not gonna ruin your brush. It's just one direction. It's a flow with the bristle. Okay, yellow. I have a little orange contamination in here. That's fine. When you are on the paper towel, you'll know how pure it is. Knock off excess dust. Last color, you don't need to blend or anything. You just need to go on. Good. That's the last colors. There you go. And sometimes people ask me this question, it's a little unnecessary, but they ask like remember the blue, and then I have the green and I go on the blue. They will be afraid. They will say, oh, Dino, but don't you afraid that the green will mix with the blue? No, because you see this part is where I do the circular motion. That is solid blue. Nothing can go in it. Oops. But When I blend it out, that's when the green can mix in with the blue because it's blended, it's 50-50. And I actually make a boo-boo. I hope that it's fix the boo-boo. There you go. Okay. Clean up this mess. Very easy to clean it up. Take this on the side. Take all your pigment in. Fold this in gently. Look at my hand. Look at my hand. Look at my beautiful clean hand. Look at my tables. It's not messy. You just don't know how to do it. You just don't know the step. So remember, it is not messy. It's just that when people don't know step, they panic. They grab whatever they can. They grab the towel, pigment spilling everywhere. They does like this. I love to have a towel underneath, but they does like this and it's poof everywhere and it's horrendous. It's not because the pigment is messy, but you are messy. So remember, nice and clean. So remember that this is a perfect inhibition layer that was formulated with pigment base. It's smooth and it's even. It's not wet. The inhibition layer is not wet. It's not completely dry. It's not no wipe. It's perfect for applying pigment. You can try to under cure. You can try to like wipe. You can try anything. But if it's not formulated for pigment, then that's it. It's done. I mean, the design is done. You are done if you don't have pigment base. So remember, the inhibition layer are very important. And of course, I'll show you how to top coat it. It is an issue for some people, some beginners. So I'll show you how to top coat it. Now, first up, don't go fast like that. If you go fast, you have to go again and again and again. You don't want that. You don't want to keep fondling with it because then it might bleed the pigment. Shine it not going to do that, but matte it might. So you want to be brief. And the only way for you to be brief is slow stroke like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful. Light, so you glide over it. And slow, so you don't have to do it again and again and again. You can just move on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I know there is a cuticle. I know some client cuticle are tricky. And if you waste a lot of time on the cuticle, brush it down and then nudging it on the cuticle, brush it down, that's a little too long. It might interfere with your process. Not saying that it would, but it might. See, I can brush on it again. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna cure this. And you don't have to like cure for 60 seconds. You can just cure for like 20 seconds or so. And then you go back. So now the surface is protected. You no longer worry about the pigment bleeding or anything. This is when you fondle with the cuticle as long as you like. Make sure it's all nice on the cuticle, on the side wall. I'm just imagining it's a client hand. There's skin around it. Okay, you just make sure you cover all that and then you stroke it down the second time. This is one of my tricks. Not just for top coat and pigment, but just for everything. And when I apply on a chrome surface, I do that too. Just because sometimes I'm afraid that I'm messing with my chrome. I play too long. So the first coat is brief. You cover the entire body first. You don't care about the cuticle or the side. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The second coat, you can go back and you can take care of the cuticles. And that time you don't have to worry about messing up the body of the design. And it's not just the inhibition layer, but the consistency also that make people fall in love with pigment base with this. It's a consistency, not just because it works well with pigments. So I'm gonna draw something on here, but first you take shine it and you apply over your surface. And the reason is pigment don't stick to shine it. So you apply it so it don't stick to your black background. Then you can draw whatever you want on here. Just for 60 seconds. This is done. Look at the beauty. It look better than airbrush. Look at that. no mess. And of course, sanded is a very hardy top coat. It's non-scratch. It's impenetrable. So before you draw on sanded, because you know there's top coat, but sometimes we have to draw on sanded just for special effect. You do want to take acetone and rub the surface just to prepare for it, so it doesn't shrink any gel that are on it. Okay, now let's take out pigment base and let's do a French tip first. Smooth thin, but it's very opaque. Drawing gel that for drawing, it have to be opaque. If it's not opaque, then you're not gonna go back and put another layer on top of your drawing. No, so it have to be one coat and that's it. That was pigment base is one coat. Doesn't matter how you apply it, it's gonna be all nice and smooth. If I don't wipe my shine it first, then the gel on the smile line, it will start to shrink. Just so you know, that's how we can fix solution for product that not meant to be drawn on, but we're gonna draw on it anyway because it's prevent pigment from sticking. Okay, beautiful. Now, I'm gonna do a line. I don't know how effective that will be because just because pigment base can use for drawing, when it comes to line and detail, you still need a gel paint. But I'm just gonna test it. A line. Ooh, you guys. Okay, I'm too excited. I have to go back. This is a little embarrassing for a nail artist. It's not a perfect line. Give me a break. I'm drawing with polish. Drawing with polish is way more. Well, you just don't draw with polish, but I do just to show you the limits of pigment base, which is limitless. But yeah, polish is a little difficult to draw on. I have a boo-boo right here too. Whenever you have a little boo-boo, you can take your silicone tool and you just, there, it's gone. Okay, cure this. Pigment again. I have a lot of fun every time I pull this out. And this might be a surprise, but I used to be afraid of pigment, you guys. I'm sure you do too now. I used to be afraid of pigment just because it's messy and I just don't know how to deal with it, but it's so beautiful. That I want and desire. It's a fact I just don't know how. Okay. And the reason why I don't promote it until now, because it's been out for like 5 years, it's because it's take off since the first day it come out. Since the first day it come out, people buy it and they buy it like crazy and they come back and keep buying it again and again and again. So I haven't think about promoting it and having a lesson for it. I ask people like, what do you buy it for? And they say it's just a really good white gel polish. So some people don't even use it for pigment. They just use it because it's awesome. It's a white gel polish. And they use it as a white gel polish because it's not any more expensive than a white gel polish. See, the pigment base is the same price at all my gel polish. And if I'm a little greedy, I can charge this way more than a typical polish. Just because this is amazing. I can charge it like $19. But it's $14, just the same price as polish does. So some people don't even use it for special effects. They just use it as a white gel polish. But today, I am on here to teach you about pigment. I teach you about how to use it for pigment. But by all means, I doesn't even need to teach you about pigment. You're gonna love it either way. even if you don't use it for pigment. Now, stick onto pigment base beautifully. The background have shined it, so dust it up and bam. Beautiful. And yes, it's rainbow. I have rainbow not for any special cause or anything. I just love rainbow because it's pretty. So overall, this is a dream come true for people that love pigment. I also have this right here. So this is one stroke liner. After the successful pigment base, I decided to have a gel paint. And one stroke liner can adhere to pigment perfectly. But it's not a gel polish like pigment base. You don't use it to paint your entire nails or anything big. This is for lining. This is for one stroke flower. This is for details. And if you have problem with pigments, that's what you need today at Tinovo shop. And share this with your friend who have problem with pigment. They're gonna love it. It's gonna change their life and they're gonna work with confidence. And until next time, bye.